Welcome to our Energy Matters with Anthony Manna and Dena Marie. Aloha.
And here we are once again, folks. Happy to be here. Our Energy Matters. I keep thinking about our Energy Matters. As a matter of fact, this week, the word energy came up about 25 times. Every time I turned around and I started making note of it. I have to drink water for my throat. Thank you. And it's spring water. I know. But anyway, you know, so the word energy is in my presence all the time now. And it's cultivating itself to make me realize more and more what it is. Our theme today, well, dopomoha, is help, help, help. And that's our hope for Ukraine and the Ukrainian listeners out there and viewers. So today is heal, heal, heal your blocked chakras. Now, I don't know what that's going to mean to people. I say, folks, let me be your guide, showing you the way to the wonder of Dena Marie's radiant treasury of life-affirming manifestations of healing, hope, and redemptive freedom, laid bare like dazzling, highly charged flashes of crystallized celestial aha moments in her enlightened book, Our Energy Matters, The Art of Crystal Reading, where her seekers, her clients, can learn how to manifest their heartfelt intentions. Follow me to be enlivened and awakened to prayerful, mind-alert professions of faith and soulful plans of action. Dena Marie, christened for me as Lady Grace, unravels plans of action that she unravels to help her seekers in need of soulful renewal to acknowledge and celebrate their uniqueness, our uniqueness and individuality, because I always have to put myself in that category of the seeker. Throughout the luminous pages of her book, she beckons us to partake in the dance of recognition. She invites us to take on the warrior's presence and stand firm at the threshold of our fears and unblock the prison of self-denial and self-doubt so the heart can breathe again, refreshed and glorified and joyfully learning through her teachings, the art of healing, self-acceptance, self-wonder, as she leads us to crystal choice, tarot reach, chakra reveal, and earthbound truth-telling awakened to prayerful, mind-alert plans of super spiritual action. Then I take a breath. One of those long sentences. I'm getting more, you inspire me to do this, by the way, or something, because I never write sentences like that. That's perfect. She says, this is a quote, "We are the co-creators of our own reality. We are spiritual beings living in the physical world." That is so refreshing. Thank you for reminding us. This is precisely, still quote, "This is precisely the reason our intentions are so important. They are truly our thoughts, our prayers actually waiting to manifest in the physical world," end quote. Yes, indeed, I say to myself, our energy matters. Consider the life force, soul force energy of the vortexes, the discs, the chakras that distribute universal energy throughout the body. There we go again, energy, energy, energy. Quote, "This life energy or prana flows down through the top of your head, the crown chakra, which we talked about last week, through your spine to your pelvic floor, which is the root chakra. So vital is chakra energy to our well-being, our happiness, our relationship with ourselves and with others, that Dena Marie, Lady Grace, prophesies, quote, "When one or more of these chakra discs fail to spin, become bogged down, overloaded, or damaged, the whole system will suffer. All these components need to work in sync with one another to maintain balance in our bodily and spiritual systems. So what do you do with the chakra that's out of sync? In her masterly counseling as a celestial alchemist, Dena Marie comes to our rescue and offers us healing prescriptions for blocked chakras and a sacred pathway within the interior sanctum of her book. She writes, becoming conscious of our chakra blockages allows us to make necessary changes to heal our past and become whole and free-flowing individuals again. So help is on the way. Yay! Folks, join Lady Grace and me to explore the healing prescriptions for blocked chakras. In the episode preceding this one, we rejoiced in witnessing healing remedies for blocked crown and brow. So now let's go to throat.
Throat chakra. Wow. I can use myself as an example. So the other day I was thinking of saying something, but I kept my mouth shut because I was afraid to. And then my inner voice went crazy, 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 crazy. So that's an open throat chakra, but I'm talking and the talking starting to get where it's not positive and I know it, but I can't stop it. And so I said something that I need to slow down because I'm too busy these days. And then I hurt myself and now I'm grounded. But that's your throat chakra. So the most important thing is to quiet your mind the best you can. I do that with exercising or focusing on the beauty while I take photos or just being in the present moment. But your throat chakra is the communication you have with your higher self, which is your intuition. It's the communication you have back and forth with yourself, which you want to quiet down as much as possible because you want to get through to the higher self to give you direction. And then there's what you say to other people. If it's running well and it's healthy, for instance, I wanted to tell somebody something and I didn't and I bit my tongue. If I would have just used my throat chakra and said something factually and got it out, then my chakra wouldn't have got all overly opened. So one of those things is, I guess, writing, art, music, all that stuff that you're creative will help you express yourself. And it may not be to that person, but it will clear up the chakra. And I'm really missing my creative side. That's where I told you I need to get this party started. I need to do something different and shift my mind because you're going to interview me instead of me interviewing you, which will make my mind more creative and it'll put me in a different place. You might want to start writing or painting or even gardening is creative. But that's what I need right now. I need something creative and spontaneous. And I've been working too much. Right?
Yeah, I know you told me that. I mean, but it's so good that you because of your knowledge that you've worked on over so many years to gain and the practice that you support, that you have to stop.
And the universe stopped me. I needed some help stopping. And now I can't really walk as well as I'd like to. So I've got a lot of things done, but I'm not running out. I'd be running around right now doing something fun, which is great, but I'm still doing too much. So your communication with yourself creates your reality. So what you really want to do is quiet your chatty Cathy voice and have that higher voice say, oh, this is the aha moment. I don't have to do as much. And sometimes things get done for you when you're not doing as much and you're listening to your higher self. That's the most important keys. Those higher chakras is getting direction before you physically move.
Well, yeah. And I mean, the thing is, we've often talked about this and I keep reading about it in my mindfulness practice that we need to stop and slow down, and breathe, and live mindfully, and so lately, well, there's something else I want to say here that you taught me, which is so important, but in the morning, before I do the treadmill or before I do my yoga or whatever it is, my physical exercises in my little gym that I've created here in my environment, because I'm afraid to go to the gym right now, I always stop and I say, may I live the day mindfully as best I can, and I want to just stop and really try to understand a little bit of what that means. So when I go to the treadmill, am I really going to the treadmill when I'm doing the breakfast dishes? Am I really doing the dishes, or is my mind just spiraling, So when I talk about, then the other thing I wanted to mention, I'm glad I thought of, is also the intentions. The intentions will help me making an intention each day, and maybe a couple times during the day, I don't know, but I mean, I know for me, it's one of the first things I think about in the morning, which is, to recognize the fact that I have some positive intention in my life that I can pursue during the course of that day. And so,
what I figured it out is that I was going to the gym, and you knew that I was having fun and I was grounded and I was on. There's this guy and he's playing heavy metal rock and roll with a transistor radio. And I'm afraid to tell him I don't want to hear the music because that's my time to read. And see, I wasn't going to the gym this week, and see my inner voice just started getting all crazy, my chakra, throat chakra, because I'm not in grounding every day. But I need to tell that guy that he cannot play his music. Get a headset, for God's sakes. Anyways, I need to exercise every day. It gets me out of my head.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I feel the same way. I mean, I just, I even the days when I'm really, really tired, when I wake up and I just think I'm going back to bed and I'm sleeping for another 3 hours. No, I just simply go on and try to do this, and it wakes me up immediately. The fifth chakra is when I go to the prescriptions, folks, here I am. Our energy matters. The art of crystal reading. We have to do more with crystal reading soon. But anyway, the fifth chakra in her prescriptions, remedies. I love these. And the fifth chakra, as you said today, is all about expression. So what are some of the remedies? Sing, write, draw, play an instrument, paint, work with clay or wood, talk to someone you trust, go to a festival with music and art, start a band, karaoke, journal, chant or do a mantra, read poetry, write a song, visit the museum, support the arts in your community, be in a play. God, that would be so wonderful right now. Teach something you love to do to someone you care about. Verbally pass down a family tradition. Write a letter. When I'm doing this, see, the reason I'm stopping and balking a little, because my mind is going, I mean, it's just like the family tradition business is so important. Write a letter or attend an opera. Wear blue, eat blue foods and fruit. Love that. So that's why it's so important. I mean, when you created this book, it's like there's enough in here over and over again to help me stop, to give myself the attention. And sometimes the intention, a lot of the time, my intention is to treat myself nicely so that I can treat other people nicely.
And that goes into the next one, which is your heart chakra. And a week or two ago, if I would have spoke up to this man or the gym, I would be in a different place right now, right? I would have used my throat chakra, got it over with. And so it's something I've always struggled with, but it is self-love, right? It's your throat chakra and your heart is when you can express how you feel. And there's a part of me that wanted to say, this is how I feel about, this is my time. I wanted to read, and everyone else is unhappy too. So gosh, now I have a prescription that I have to use my power chakra and put my foot down, even though now it hurts, but I have to say something because I love myself enough. And I was going to the gym and I was feeling very, very good. And I love getting up in the morning, and now I'm sleeping another hour or so. So I'm going backwards because I was afraid to express myself to somebody and really act on loving myself. And I think that the heart chakra, I always say it's a balancing act before giving and receiving. So I have to learn to receive. So my whole life I've learned to take gifts, or people pay for me now and I say thank you instead of like the next minute thinking of what I can buy for them. because that's, oh, horrible. But I have to learn to receive. I have to learn to love myself. And I call that pink. So that's the rose quartz telling you to buy yourself flowers or take yourself out and buy yourself something nice. Treat yourself the way you want other people to treat you. And then the other part, the giving, that's the giving to other people. Some people are takers. So if you're around a lot of takers and you're a giver and you get resentful and angry, you're the problem, right? So actually what's happening is this man's a taker. He's taking all the space of the gym for himself. And he just got there like 3 weeks ago, and he's ruining it for the rest of us because we're all afraid to speak our minds. And I was telling you how much fun I was having. They're older people, they have coffee afterwards, and they say, how's your morning going? And that was fun. So right now, God is giving me a prescription to put my foot down and love myself and say, this is my gym. I don't need to speak for everyone else, but get a headset.
Perfect. Yeah, no, I know. I mean, sometimes we're so reluctant to be precious to ourselves, and to heal the soul. I've been thinking about that a lot because I've been listening to the lectures of the philosopher and poet, Irish poet John O'Donoghue, and he talks so much about the landscape of the soul. When at the beginning I thought, oh, come on, we don't even know, what do we know about the soul? Well, you know what? We know a lot about the soul, and it's the spirit world, and it's so, it needs to be nurtured. And that's what I think you're talking about, and
well, I call it a multiverse. And before he came in, our souls were singing. And we were all singing the same song and we were enjoying ourselves. And you could see the energy, how we all just kind of fit in. And this one person who swears a lot too, it's just so it's just, he doesn't belong there. Yet because we're all so accommodating and not loving ourselves, he's ruining our vibe.
Right. And I know, and you really want to be proactive. Let me put it that way.
Yep.
And just get up there and say, wear earphones. When talking about the prescriptions for the heart, the word you have here is connection, and that means so much, because when you talk about connection, are you talking about connection with yourself, with others? Mm-hmm. Yeah, and connection with the spirits, with the spirit world, and it just goes on. You say here, some of the prescriptions here are: hold hands, talk about how you feel, buy flowers and date yourself, talk or smile at a stranger, tell someone you love them, play a game with your family, volunteer in your community, love someone for no reason at all. God, that is so powerful. When I just think about that related to my own son, my adult son, sometimes I just want to love him just because he's my son, and just because he's a person, rather than what can he do for me. Get a massage, look at the mirror and say you love yourself just the way you are. I have to do that more often because I look at the mirror and I think you have big bags under your eyes. No. Send yourself a Valentine. Learn Reiki, that is healing touch. Listen to Gregorian chants. Wear pink or green. Eat green food and vegetables. So there's so much here, I mean, I just think that I could spend so much time just on each of the chakras. And the other thing about the chakras that we haven't really spent very much time talking about, but I'd like to do it in the near future after we move through this procedure here, is to talk about the crystals. Because in your cheat sheet in the back of your book, you very clearly, mention the crystals that are related to each of the chakras. And that's so important to me too, because I've learned so much from you about how important reading of the crystals is. And maybe that'll be
sometime. And that's funny. 2 years ago, you had no idea what we were talking about.
You better believe it. I mean, I mean, I once heard, I remember once when I lived in Cambridge, Massachusetts, there was somebody in the apartment building that I lived in that talked about chakras, you know, and I thought, what the heck, man? You know, I mean, you know what I mean? And she was a very spiritual person in many ways, you know, but that's the only time in my life, you know. So
That's why I like to use energy systems. I change Reiki to healing touch. Feng Shui is clutter clearing. And then everyone's listening, you know. Chakras is, and I say it wrong, chakras is how they say it, but in the end, it's just a very kindergarten way. I made a chakra man, and I'd go through teaching adults about, you know, closing your eyes and painting pictures, or looking up and at your crown or your throat chakra, listening to that small, still voice that's so wise, or feeling something good and then doing it more. That's your heart. The solar plexus is me physically acting on telling the gym guy that I don't want the guy to play music anymore, physically showing up. And then the sacral is you and I working well together as a relationship. And the root chakra is we finish our video today, something tangible.
yeah, no, I know. And I mean, I think that, well, let's just keep exploring these manifestations of remedies, you know, as we move into our next episode, the next time we meet. But it's always, folks, you know what it is? It's always spiritually enlivening. And you just said something that is also very important, and I'm really practicing this, and it really is changing the way that I feel during the day quite often, is to look up. And
Amen. Yep.
right now we've had rain. I'm looking out at my 8 acres. We've had rain. Everything is crystallized because the sun just came out. And I'm looking out there and I'm thinking, read these crystals, please. Thank you very much, Dena Marie. Thank you very much, Dena Marie. So we have to end now, but you know, next time. Okay. And folks, well, in our next episode, we'll continue exploring chakra blocks and remedies. If you want to move closer to Dena Marie's wisdom, then listen to her weekly radio show, Lift Your Spirits. And tomorrow I will be one of her guests, and I will be interviewing her on 11:50 AM KKNW, or go to her website, dena-marie.com, because you'll also find out about her show, but you'll also find out about her healing powers. I like to call them such. And tomorrow I'll be interviewing you on your show. I feel so good about that.
I'm 8 years old. My show's 8 years old, and you get to interview
I'm
me.
8 years old. Congratulations. Yes. And my website for an interview with Dena Marie is AnthonyMannaBooks.com. It's MANNA, Manna from Heaven. Go to my website's media section for my Podbean podcast interview with Dena Marie and many others. And also my website I hope will interest a lot of people out there if you have children, teens or tweens around, because it's all about reading and writing and connecting with yourself as a reader or a writer, you know, or both. So anyway, farewell.
Until next time.
Until next time. Thank you, everyone. And
Bye-bye.
all right. Blessed day, blessed evening. Bye.